Good morning, everybody. Thanks for joining me today. I am back out at the preserve I was last week. I was here a couple of days ago and I got to see a nice little small flock of migrating birds going through, a lot of different kind of warbler species. There's a lot of chipmunks. So I'm back out today and I'm really kind of looking for a couple species in particular. I heard a pileated woodpecker here twice and I haven't seen it, so I'm gonna try to keep my ears and eyes open to see if I can hear that bird. I really want to photograph it. It's an awesome bird to find and photograph. I also heard and kind of got glimpses of red squirrels here as well. There's a lot of white pine trees, which is like the food that they love. They love to eat the seeds out of the white pine cones. So I'm gonna try to get some pictures of them. And also I found some game trails here last week and I'm going to see if I can hopefully find some deer. It's just after sunrise. There's a lot of water. We had a lot of rain yesterday, so it's very quiet right now. I'm actually kind of near a low section in the forest that has some water in it, and there was just some birds foraging through some of the bushes, but it's just a little bit too dark yet to get any pictures of them. There's chipmunks going crazy to my left, so I'm going to hike in, kind of try heading towards the game trails that I found. It's kind of towards a field, and we're going to see what we can find, and hopefully we'll get some pictures and video today, but we'll see. I've been creeping through the forest for about a half hour now. I've been tiptoeing, trying to be very quiet, just going really slow, methodical, and I haven't found anything yet. I've heard a couple birds farther into the forest, some nuthatches and woodpeckers and that kind of thing, but I haven't found anything to photograph yet. It's still also pretty dark in the forest. But another species I'm looking for is barred owl, because I've seen signs of them the past times I've been here. I've seen a feather. I know this is perfect habitat for them. And now I found what's referred to as whitewash. It's basically when the owls go to the bathroom. It's this white uric acid that they excrete, and there's some all over the bushes over here. So there's definitely owls. I'm not sure if this was an owl specifically, but definitely some kind of bird of prey, because those are the ones that do it. And there's actually a nice perch right above me, so it's probably where it perches overnight and then hunts along this trail. So I'm just gonna keep my eyes out and hopefully we'll find something to photograph. Otherwise, this is gonna be a pretty boring video, but we'll see if we can fix that. I'm gonna head over to the field now. Hopefully there'll be some better luck with things out into the field and along the edge. So, still a beautiful morning. Well, I stayed over in the field for a little while. The phoebes that were there flew off. I'm not sure if it was because they didn't like me sitting there, or if it was because it got really windy, or if it was either I believe it was a Cooper's hawk that flew over pretty low. So they flew off and went closer to the edge of the forest. So I am going to make my way down, actually heading over to where I saw the large flock of birds last time I was here, and also saw the red squirrel. So I'm going to see if maybe I can set up down there and hopefully at least get some red squirrel pictures and videos. I haven't heard pileated woodpecker at all, and I actually just saw my first downy woodpecker for the day, and I'm hearing some nuthatches, but they are, I guess, higher up in the canopy because I have not seen them anywhere low. So yeah, we're gonna try this and hopefully we'll get some activity down this way. It can get really frustrating sometimes when you're walking through the forest looking for wildlife to photograph and find, and you just don't find anything, especially when it's a really nice day like today is, and it's like the conditions are perfect, but still there's just not much out. And it can definitely get frustrating, but you always have to remember that you never really know what might happen in the next couple of minutes. There's been plenty of times when I've been out, haven't found anything, and then out of nowhere there's just a perfect experience with the wildlife. So it's one thing you have to kind of remember, is you never really know what might happen. Wildlife's unexpected. That's why I think a lot of people do wildlife photography, is because you never know what you might find. But another thing you can do if you're not having any luck hiking through and trying to find things is, if you find a spot where you think wildlife might come to, or a spot where you know wildlife visits, and just sit quietly and just wait for wildlife to come. A lot of times just hiking through the forest just disturbs things, even if you're walking slowly and quietly. But if you sit quietly, just be patient, there's a good chance that things might come towards you as well. So I'm sitting in a spot where I have before. It's a spot where I've seen chickadees and tufted titmice and nuthatch and that sort of thing come through. There's a rock wall that's behind me where I've seen chipmunk before, and just looking around on the ground I see all sorts of white pine cones, and there's a lot of them that are just kind of completely ripped apart, chewed to shreds, and that's going to be the squirrels, so probably red squirrel. They love getting the seeds in the pine cones like that, and so I'm just going to sit quietly, patiently, and hopefully wait, and maybe some things will come out this way. If not, I'll just move to a different location, sit and wait, and sooner or later we'll have some luck. Well, I've been sitting here for about a half hour, and I haven't seen anything, but I'm actually hearing some birds now, which is good. But they're over in that direction, so I'm going to head that way and see if I can find anything. Pretty good sized flock of birds that just moved through. A lot of chickadees, tufted titmice. There was an ovenbird as well, some nuthatch. And they're still kind of foraging around that way. Problem is it's so dense with white pine. I mean, look at how dark it is in here. But there's so many short white pines that are about 6 to 10 feet tall. It's really hard to see the birds. So you can hear them, they're all around you, but you can't really see them unless they come to the top of the tree, and then they move so quick it's hard to get a picture. I'm gonna move over this way behind me a little bit. It opens up a little bit. Hopefully I can kind of circle around them a little bit, and then they'll come over this way as well. Now I'm kind of on the edge of this really dense section. So I should have a little bit better visibility, and I can kind of sneak ahead of them a little bit, hopefully. Let's try this. Well, I've been here for about another half hour, maybe a little bit longer, and the birds that were foraging all in the short white pines behind me, I guess they went in the opposite direction from where I was, because they've moved that way, and I didn't go in the right direction that they're headed, I guess, but that happens sometimes. But I was hoping they were going to come back this direction. They didn't, so I'm actually going to make my way out and probably make my way back to the car. It's getting to be midday. I haven't really had much success today, so I'm just probably going to call it a day, unless I find something on my way out, which if I do, I'll let you know. But yeah, thanks for joining me. Sorry today wasn't very exciting, but that's how wildlife photography is sometimes. Sometimes you just have to be able to go out and enjoy the day even if you don't find anything to photograph. It's a beautiful fall day, and it's just how it is sometimes. But thank you for watching. I'll see you next time.